Hey guys, I think the Order of the Eastern Star is not shining as brightly as it could, but I got some recommendations how we can fix that. So let's knock 3 times and let's get this started. Hey guys, Z again with another episode of Observant Freemasonry, and today we're talking about the problem with the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, before I begin, let me please tell you that I am a member of the Eastern Star. I'm currently sitting as the warder of my chapter, and I see my chapter. I know that they're going through some things, and we're trying to take some action to correct them. And I thought it'd be a great way to make a video and see if your chapter falls into these, or maybe the general grand chapter, and see how we can fix and we can really start making that star shine brighter. So the first thing I want to talk about with the Order of the Eastern Star is that there is no advertising for the Order of the Eastern Star. What I mean by that is there is no motto, there's no slogan for people to wrap around when they're talking about their membership of the Eastern Star. In Blue Lodge, we kind of have that idea that says we're making good men better. And we throw that out there and we kind of get that, the thoughts kind of turning on that. And then we tell the guys, come join us and see how that happens. And it's a great slogan. It works well. It's a great motto. What does the Order of the Eastern Star have? Exactly. That's the problem. When someone comes to me and goes, well, what does the Order of the Eastern Star do? I don't have that simple slogan or motto that says, we make good women better, right? Or maybe that's the one we need to come up with, right? But we don't have that to just pitch it and a real quick pitch. And I think that needs to change. I think we need to have something that we can kind of, just toss out there real quick, real efficient, and then go. So maybe we need to decide on one. Maybe our chapter needs to be the one that decides what that slogan's going to be, and we take it up to General Grand Chapter and say, hey, let's do this. But we don't have that. Also in advertising, Blue Lodge members wear square and compasses on everything. They're always around, whether they're on our rings, whether they're on our cars, whether they're on our shirts, our jackets, socks, pants, hats, watches, you name it, we got square and compass, and it's great advertisement. It's branding is what it is. The Order of the Eastern Star doesn't really have that. Now, there are members that have like small brooch pins, or maybe they have a scarf, and they wear that when they go to chapter, but they don't typically wear it throughout the day. There's not many times throughout the day that you don't see me with something on that has a square and compass. It's the pride that I have in my lodge. So if you're proud of your chapter, if you're proud of being a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, are you showing it on the things that you wear, or in the bags that you carry, or is there an emblem on your car letting people know that you're a member of the Star? If you're proud of it, advertise it, right? So people know what's happening. I think that that's a huge selling point. It doesn't need to be brought out for chapter members, because you know what? Chapter members already know what the great thing is about the Order of the Eastern Star. That's why they're a chapter member. It's those people that don't know about the Order of the Eastern Star that should be able to see that symbol and recognize it, and you give them your quick little slogan, and then you start trying to develop some interest in your chapter. One of the other things that I think that can really help the Order of the Eastern Star is not relying solely upon Blue Lodge membership. And I think a lot of chapters fall into this. They kind of have the worshipful master, or that member of the chapter who is also a Blue Lodge member, always go back, and every month we get the, hey, if you have any wives, or if you have any daughters or sisters or mothers that would like to become members, please let us know. We'd love to get them in there. But that's typically where the recruitment actually stops. Here in my town that we have my chapter in my lodge, we have something called like Wind Down Fridays, where they kind of close off part of a street. There's a bunch of vendors that come out. What about setting up a tent that just has the Eastern Star logo on it, and you have a couple of ladies out there and they have some petitions, and you say, come ask me, let's talk about what the Order of the Eastern Star is, right? Maybe we're taking and we need to go and we need to do recruitment through the community services that we do. So if we're presenting money to a food bank, we go and we get a check and we said, supported by the Order of the Eastern Star. I know that we recently did a food drive, and in that food drive, I included the Order of the Eastern Star on there so we can get the name out for that branding and that recruitment that we're looking for. Because almost everyone, if we take a look at the regulations of the Order of the Eastern Star, probably has a Masonic affiliation somewhere in their line, and we just got to dig it out. There's not really a whole lot that don't. And I understand that you have to have that Masonic affiliation to become a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. But right now, I mean, basically, if it's your second cousin twice removed, that'll work for the Masonic affiliation to get in there. So I know why you go to the Blue Lodge, because you know that affiliation is there, and that makes it easier to get them in. But hey, sometimes when you're doing a recruitment, you're going to have to go out and find it and see if you can hunt it down. And it takes work, and I know it takes work, but it's well worth it in the end, because there's a whole mess load of ladies that aren't coming into their chapter because they don't know that they need to have a Masonic affiliation. If they do, they don't know where that Masonic affiliation is, and we can help them find that and have them come in and join our chapters. So think about whether or not you're doing those, like Wind Down Fridays or whatever. Maybe you hold a Taco Tuesday thing where everyone comes down to the chapter on Taco Tuesday, and you sit and you eat tacos and you have a great time. Everyone puts on sombreros and whatever, and that's how you do your recruitment. But don't focus solely on the Blue Lodge, right? There are other people out there past the Blue Lodge that can become members and have great ideas. I think that we as a chapter, typically, from what I've heard from other chapters around too and asking them for their stuff, we're selling ourselves too cheap. What I mean by that is that when I first started in the Order of the Eastern Star, my initiation fee was $20. That's it. My yearly dues are $20. That's it. Now, if we think about that in the way that finances are going now, if I pay $20 for a year-long membership and I never show up, then guess what? I'm only out $20. I don't really care. I don't have a lot of skin in the game. It's $20. I can't even go to a movie by myself and grab my ticket, soda, and popcorn for under $20. In fact, it's going to be way more than that. So if we have these great secrets, if we have this great organization that's doing so much for the community, why are we selling it so cheap for $20? Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say. They're going to say our members are older. They don't have necessarily the income to be able to spend that. So I'm going to sit here and tell you, as I'm getting ready to take a look at my bylaws, perhaps we write in a clause that says, up until this point of your membership, you say 20 years, whatever, your dues will no longer be raised. It'll be set at that price, right? Or maybe it's 30 years, or maybe it's when you reach the age of retirement. When you retire, you're no longer going to be charged the same amount of dues because you don't have that continual income coming in. And I get that. We can write bylaws to make sure that those people who are going to be on that fixed income aren't strapped financially to keep up their membership. But have them put some skin in the game. Say, hey man, if you're going to be a member of the Eastern Star, you're going to have to pay for it, because guess what? We have great things. We want you to be active, and we know that if we're saying dues are going to be $80, $100, which I know will never probably happen in the Order of the Eastern Star, but as a member of the Blue Lodge, I'm paying $120, $125 a year to be a member, which is still cheap compared to some other lodges. And when I miss those meetings, I'm like, I'm spending $125 a year on this. I better show up to my meetings, right? I want to get my money's worth. And if you're only selling it for $20, no one cares if you get your money's worth, because it's only $20. So think about that the next time that you're going through your bylaws, right? Are we selling ourselves too cheap? The answer is probably yes, we sure are. Now, here's the last thing that I think is really the biggest detriment to the Order of the Eastern Star. There's nothing we can really do to change it right now, but we can look forward to trying to maybe change it in the future. And that's really that, unfortunately, the Order of the Eastern Star, because it is just relatively so young in its creation, not like Freemasonry, which we can go back to 1717, but Eastern Star, which was early 1900s, we've never really had a great champion for the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, before you yell at me, please understand, I mean great champion in the idea of like George Washington, Ben Franklin, Paul Revere, John Hancock, all of those founding fathers that helped create the country that we're in now. We do have members of the Order of the Eastern Star, such as Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks, Clara Barton, who started the Red Cross, Eleanor Roosevelt. And she, I think, is the last one of the major political figures that was a member of the Eastern Star. And we haven't had that great champion, the one that really kind of said, I'm a member of the Star and I'm proud. Kind of like what we would think of with like George Washington, Ben Franklin, Paul Revere, Louis Armstrong, Mozart. You can go through the list of Freemasons. Can we really go through the list of Eastern Star? Doing some quick research on the Eastern Star, there's really not, a lot of people that have have become so famous, other than those quick couple of them. And even then, many of us know Maya Angelou, many of us know Rosa Parks. Clara Barton, a quick search tells you that she started the Red Cross, right? Got to be honest with you, didn't recognize the name. I knew I should have recognized the name, and I think I recognized it actually more from Back to the Future. I think that was Clara Barton, whatever, was Doc's love interest in the third, whatever. Anyway, sidetrack. But Eleanor Roosevelt knew that name. Short of that, there's not as many. So if you are a member of an Eastern Star, and you are getting to that point, maybe in your town, your community, your state, whatever it is, please be proud of that. Champion the Order of the Eastern Star. If you're a member, it's because you're proud to be a member. And you know what? Let people know that you're proud to be a member of the Eastern Star. And when they see those women that are making awesome changes in the community and in the nation, they can go, that person's done it, and I want to be a member of that organization that she is, because I want to make that change and I want to be affiliated with her. And that's another great recruitment. So if you guys are in chapter now and you're in those positions, then do the advertisement, become the champion of the Order Eastern Star, so then we can make that star shine as brightly as humanly possible. Wear it, love it, live it, Order of the Eastern Star. So until next time, guys, stay fervent.